Welcome back to Dragon Age Origins. We are playing through the campaign with Elia. She's our mage, but I wanted to show you these gift items before we move on and what they can do for your character. So, I have two at the moment. We got these from the Tower of Ashal when we were there. That was the last place we visited before leaving Ostagar.
Is that for me?
Alistair a beef bone.
Really?
All of the characters have things to say when you give them a gift, and it increases or decreases their affection level at the bottom here, or approval level, I guess. And depending on what level you have of disapproval or approval with the character, it unlocks specific dialogue and specific scenes, and even quests in some instances. So before we leave Flemeth's hut here, we're going to actually talk with Flemeth one more time. She might have a few other things to say before we leave, so...
Have you not left yet? I hope you are not hanging about for some stew.
Oh, come on, share. Everyone wants some stew. Could you answer some questions?
Questions. One would think a Grey Warden would be more interested in action.
You'd think so, right? Can I ask about your magic?
Looking for new spells. Secrets you think old Flemeth has cooked up over the years. Well, they're of no use to you without years of practicing my ways. I am not like your circle with its books, you see. Not that I would mind a replacement daughter to order around.
Believe me, you do not want that.
You say that now. There's certain... I'm not gonna say anything. How long have you lived in the wild?
Since before I was wrinkled and old. You may think it strange, but I was once young and beautiful, just as Morrigan is now. Yes, men desired Flemeth then, and some even killed for her.
If she's actually the Flemeth from the legends, then she's incredibly old, and that would have been a really, really, really long time ago. So, this would actually be logical if we believe the legends. We're just gonna go with this, though. You don't seem happy about that.
I am not, nor was I then. It dictated all that followed. But enough. You have your task to complete.
Fair enough. What will we do once we are gone?
Have a moment's peace for once.
I hear the peace of the grave is eternal.
This is the thanks I get for feeding you and putting up with you for this long. May your child one day treat you the same.
Feed me, she says. Without me, I swear she shall be caked in dirt and eating tree bark inside of a month.
That'd be awesome. And it's a little bit of foreshadowing, but you'll see what I mean later. Do you have any advice?
About the Darkspawn?
Well, about anything, really.
Then hear this. I laugh at a world full of stupid humans who ignore the Blight's evil and abandon their vigilance to chase mortal goals. Remember, it is up to you to destroy the Blight. Pray not for someone else to destroy it. It will always nip at your heels.
Alright, no more questions.
Then we are done. Now, if you will excuse me, I have some dinner to eat.
Which you're not willing to share. So we're gonna leave now. Now, once we leave, there's gonna be a bit of a cutscene, and I can show you a couple of things as we're leaving. First, you're going to see a map. Yeah, this map. Now, this isn't what it'll look like once we actually get into things, but we have to go to Lothering before it unlocks the rest of the map. Once we've gone to Lothering, most of these other squares will become the same shade of gray-brown as these tiles that are highlighted. And those squares that are that lighter color are available for you to travel to. Now you'll notice that one of the squares on the map looks different than all of the others. It's a different color. This one is a gold-yellow color. And the reason for that is because all of the gold-yellow squares are actually DLC content. So if you see any of those squares, that means that it's part of DLC. Now there will be a lot more of those squares and a lot more of the other squares as we go and progress through the game. But for now, this is all we get to see. It shows us the major locations that we'll be visiting. Each of them has like a major area that we need to go and talk with. So we have Red Cliff over here, the Circle of Magi, which is where we started the game, Brazilian Forest over here, and the Dwarves and the Frostback Mountains. So we have to go to all those places and gather people to join our army to fight the Archdemon. Now this tile up in the corner, it is always available to travel to. You go to that location and you will be able to meet up with all of the characters that you've gathered to join your personal entourage. While you're at the camp, you can have dialogue scenes with all of the characters, talk with them, get to know the people that you're traveling around with more. Also, while you're in different locations, different characters have different things to say depending on the location. Now, that doesn't always change what they have to say, but sometimes it does. Specific characters will have different things to say in specific areas. So, let's go to Lothering. This is not Lothering, this is Denerim. That's one of the other places.
And I expect each of you to supply these men. We must rebuild what was lost at Ostagar, and quickly.
That's Loghain.
There are those who would take advantage of our weakened state if we let them. We must defeat this Darkspawn incursion, but we must do so sensibly and without hesitation.
Your lordship, if I might speak. You have declared yourself Queen Anora's regent, and claim we must unite under your banner for our own good. But what of the army lost at Ostagar? Your withdrawal was most fortuitous.
Everything I have done has been to secure Ferelden's independence. I have not shirked my duty to the throne, and neither will any of you!
The Bannorn will not bow to you simply because you demand it.
Understand this. I will brook no threat to this nation from you or anyone.
So notice how he said secure Ferelden's independence and not for the good of Ferelden.
Bantegan, please!
Your Majesty, your father risks civil war. If Eamon were here...
Bantegan, my father is doing what is best.
Did he also do what was best for your husband, Your Majesty?
So we got to see the Queen for the first time, and Bantegan. Bantegan's like an underling for the Arl of Redcliffe, who we will meet later on. Arl of Redcliffe is someone that Alistair knows, and he was recommending that we go to visit them first. This is the puppy that we saved at Ostagar, and this scene does not happen if you kill the puppy or let the puppy die, or don't do the quest, so...
Off I
see.
go. Very well.
Alright, the puppy wags his tail happily and pants. Now you can send the dog away, or you can talk with the dog. We're just gonna pet the dog.
I think he was out there looking for you. He's chosen you. Mabari are like that. They call it imprinting.
Does this mean we're going to have this mangy beast following us about now? Wonderful.
He's not mangy.
He can come, but he'd better make himself useful.
And yet we still have Alistair along.
Alright, so the dog does join your party. You get to name your dog as well. We're going to name our dog Ravager. Yeah. But you can name your dog whatever you want. And then if you actually talk with your dog in this location before you leave, there's a chance that he might find an item for you. And I'll show you what I mean. So, dog pants happily. And then you have a few dialogue options. You can just pet the dog, which we've already seen what happens. He just like rolls over. Just a cute little scene. But if you ask him to do something about the gory mess, he just cleans your equipment so that you don't have any blood all over your character anymore. And then if you ask, do you see anything interesting, the dog runs off and it will locate any items in the area that you might not be able to find by just walking around, which can be an opportunity to get additional equipment, or find new equipment rather. Sometimes the items that he brings back are good items and they're useful, but most of the time they're just junk items that you can sell for a very low price at the nearest merchant. Sometimes they sell for a little more, but most of the time it's just junk. And then occasionally he'll find a gift as well that you can give to one of your party members to affect their affection level or admiration level. Do you see anything interesting? And he runs off. And he did not find anything this time. Oh, that's unfortunate. It's complete chance. And you can ask him at like different areas, but most of the time it'll probably be he just finds nothing, especially if he found nothing the first time. But we're gonna try it a couple times. Yeah, see, and this is what I mean. So he did find something by just moving down the road a little bit and then asking him there. And then after you finish talking with the dog, you can open up your inventory and scroll down to see whatever he found. And this is what he found. So it's a staff, and it's a better staff than what we have equipped. Not for damage, but in a general sense, it is a fair bit better. And I'm actually going to use that because I like it. Wow. And I'll give my old staff to Morgan. Or maybe not. You know, Morgan can just keep what she already has. Didn't realize her staff was that good. You might have noticed that I actually changed the equipment that Morgan was wearing. She used to have that like skimpy outfit on. I changed that last time because I had some better robes in my backpack there. So I just went ahead and gave them to her. Alright, onwards to Lothering. The dog There's special dialogue scenes with the dog in every major location. There's certain items that you can only interact with if you have the dog in your group.
Wake up, gentlemen! More travelers to attend to. Led by an elf, of all things.
They don't look much like them others, you know. Maybe we should just let these ones pass.
Nonsense. Greetings, travelers!
Highwaymen, preying on those fleeing the Darkspawn, I suppose.
They are fools to get in our way. I say, teach them a lesson.
Now, is that any way to greet someone? A simple 10 silvers and you're free to move on.
Yeah, he's trying to get our money, and that corpse here kind of indicates what'll happen if we say no. But we're going to say, you should listen to your friend, we're not refugees.
What did I tell you? No wagons, and this one looks armed.
The toll applies to everyone, Heinrich. That's why it's a toll, and not, say, a refugee tax.
Oh, right. Even if you're no refugee, you still gotta pay.
No, I'm not paying.
Well, I can't say I'm pleased to hear that. We have rules, you know.
Right. We get to ransack your corpse then. Those are the rules.
You can try.
Well, this is going nowhere. Let's finish this, gents.
We will need to fight shortly.
You will learn to
Oh, that was
fear me.
lame. All of the characters like ran away.
All right,
Ah,
we surrender.
I didn't even
We're
get to
just
kill them
trying
all.
to get by before the Darkspawn get us all.
So, you have a few different options here. Now, it is a shoddy operation, but we don't really know anything about this kind of thing, being that it's our first time ever leaving the circle. We've read about this kind of stuff, but you picked the wrong target.
Yes, of course. We should have been more careful. I'm sorry.
You'll follow my lead. I could use some soldiers.
What, are you joking, right? I could never be a soldier.
Alright, well, hand over everything you've stolen.
Yes, of course. The coins we collected are right here. Just over 100 silvers. The rest is in the chests we brought. I swear.
I want some questions answered.
Well, what could I tell you? We aren't even from these parts.
Well, you can still answer questions. Have you heard about any survivors from the battle?
Couple, maybe. A group of wounded ash warriors came by earlier. Got right out of their way.
And what's going on in Lothering?
It's packed full. The band took his men north with Tear and Loghain, so there's no one looking out for it except a few Templars at the Chantry. Well, I was just trying to feed my family, you know?
And what news have you heard?
Everyone's saying how the Grey Wardens betrayed the king during the Darkspawn fight. Got him and themselves killed. Tear and Loghain pulled out just in time. First thing he's doing as regent is putting a bounty on Grey Wardens.
Yeah, so, great. Loghain's not exactly painting a good image for himself. What exactly have you been doing?
Well, watching for folks fleeing from the south. Chasing from the wilds and farmholders, mostly. There aren't soldiers here anymore, so we help ourselves. We try not to hurt anyone too much.
Indeed.
Well then, let me go!
No, I think you'll die.
I'm not going down without a fight!
Very well. Turn it!
Alright, so that Templar, that was the body that was there already when we got here. Was the person that they killed. It had a couple of quest items on it. And those items, basically, they give us a quest to go find the person that the Templar was coming here to meet.
Well, there it is. Lothering. Pretty as a painting.
Ah, so you have finally decided to rejoin us, have you? Falling on your blade in grief seemed like too much trouble, I take it.
Is my being upset so hard to understand? Have you never lost someone important to you? Just what would you do if your mother died?
Before or after I stopped laughing.
Right, very creepy. Forget I asked.
So, falling on your blade in grief, I think, personally, that's a little bit of a jab reference to samurai lore. That's just what it reminds me of, but I could be way off on that. Just get to the point.
Anyway, I thought we should talk about where we intend to go first.
Well, we should probably use these treaties, I'm assuming.
I agree. Have you looked at them?
What do you mean?
The treaties, the ones we got from Flemeth. With these, we will be able to ask for assistance. Maybe even raise an army. There are 3 main groups that we have treaties for. The Dalish Elves, the Dwarves of Orzammar, and the Circle of Magi. I also still think that Archdemon is our best bet for help. We might even want to go to him first.
So even if you say that you have read the treaties, Alistair still gives that little speech about what they are. Is there a way to contact the Grey Wardens?
Short of leaving Ferelden to seek them out, the only place to send word to would be Weishaupt Fortress. And that's thousands of miles away.
Fair enough. And what do you think we should do, Morgan?
Go after your enemy directly. Find this man Loghain and kill him. The rest of this business with the treaties can then be done in safety.
Yes, he certainly wouldn't see that coming, and it's not like he has the advantage of an army and experience and...
I was asked for my opinion and I gave it. If your wish is to come up with reasons why something cannot be done, we will stand here until the Darkspawn are upon us.
So they both actually have valid points. Although Alistair's probably seems the more reasonable. Just because it's 3 of us versus this guy who was supposedly one of the most powerful people in the country, and he has the backing of an entire army, and he's like all the way in Denerim already, which is basically as far as we can go from where we started. And why are you leaving it up to me?
Well, I don't know where we should go. I'll do whatever you decide.
Now that is unsurprising.
Archdemon is a good man, but I don't know for sure he's where we should go. I'm not going to fight about it.
Alright, well, I'm ready to get going.
Fair enough. Let's head into the village whenever you're ready.
And then, once again, you can talk with your puppy to see if there's like any items that he can find. And he didn't find anything yet again. No surprise there, though. And then you can just like wander around Lothering and talk with people. There's a number of people that you talk to that'll give you quests. This is also a location where you can find quests that are specific to jobs that you can get. So herbalism, trap
when
making,
are we going home?
And poison crafting, or poison making rather. There's a specific quest for each of those.
Need something? I don't generally talk to strange elves who wander in here.
Indeed. I didn't just wander anywhere, thank you.
You still look like trouble. We got plenty of that with the war now.
Yeah, well, you look like trouble too, buddy. I could make trouble for you, human. Is that what you want?
No. Beg pardon and all. I should mind my manners.
Yes, you should. Much better, I'll go now.
Don't let me stop you.
No, you can actually ask him for information, and that can be valuable. But I don't think it's part of my character's persona, so I'm just gonna not do that. Besides, he doesn't say anything that you can't find out elsewhere.
So let's talk about your mother for a moment.
I'd rather talk about your mother.
Well, there's nothing to talk about. And besides, isn't your mother a scary witch who lives in the middle of a forest? Much more interesting.
To you, perhaps. You would find the moss growing upon a stone interesting.
You know what's more interesting than that? Apostates, mages outside of the tower. That's
out of line,
illegal.
Alistair.
You did not read that in a book somewhere, did you? I hope the small letters did not strain you overmuch.
Oh, we could not talk about your mother. That works for me.
Alright, so that was an example of party banter. That's something that happens in all of the Dragon Age games. The people that you travel with, including your dog in this case, they will have conversations with each other at random points and at specific points. At least in this game, there's specific points. So, an example of a specific point, there's a bridge over by that building in the distance there. The bridge is like just off to the left of it. But if you cross over that bridge, anytime you cross over that bridge, the first time you cross over it after having this area load up on your screen, you will automatically get party banter. So what you can do in order to get party banter super quickly, at least in this area, is you can like enter a building, then leave the building and walk over top of the bridge, and your characters will talk to each other automatically. Then go back inside the building, leave again, go over the bridge, they talk again, and so on and so forth. So it's, but you don't really need to do that in this game because the party banter does happen relatively frequently, and happens incredibly often compared to the third game in the series, Dragon Age Inquisition.
Yes.
Inquisition's party banter is mostly based on just time. So, like, a certain amount of time has to pass.
I brought my family to Lothering because
before that your characters will talk to each other.
You there! If you're looking for safe shelter, I'll warn you, there's none to be found.
He's a Templar. We're not super eager to talk with him, but he hasn't said anything super bad, so we're gonna do it anyway.
Move on if you can. Lothering's lost.
What do you mean?
We've had refugees streaming from the south for the last 2 days. The Chantry and Tavern are full to bursting. There simply isn't enough food to go around, and we Templars can barely keep order. You'd be better off elsewhere, my friend.
So that building in the background, that is the Chantry. And you can tell because of the, well, both the size of the building and the statues that are posted outside of it with the offering cups. Can I ask a few questions?
I'm just out here to keep an eye out for Darkspawn. Please ask someone in town. No offense.
Anyone in charge here?
The band has marched north with Tern Loghain, so Lothering's on its own. Most folks look to Elder Miriam. Otherwise, you could speak to Sir Bryant in the Chantry, I suppose. It's up to you.
Alright, there you go. So, those two names that he gave you, if you actually pay attention and look for those names, those are the names of people who may have quest targets for you.
We were lucky. We had the coin to pay the toll to those bandits. Many didn't.
It's just a guess, but I'm thinking everyone in Lothering is aware of the approaching Darkspawn horde.
Alright.
I'm cold. I don't like this. I want to go home.
Greetings to you, milady. If it isn't too much to ask, might you be able to spare some bread?
What happened?
We thought it would be safer in Lothering, that the Terran would bring his soldiers here. But bandits attacked us and took everything. Our food, our clothes, my daughter's pet lamb. Nobody cares about a few elves like us. Surely you understand.
I actually don't understand because I've lived in the circle my whole life. Although I think I'm starting to understand because the few interactions that we've had with people outside of the circle, many of them have been rather disdainful towards elves, so... I actually met those bandits, and they're dead now.
You killed them?
That's wonderful news. Perhaps our belongings are still there.
I can't thank you enough, friend. Even if we don't get everything back, it's good to know others will be safe.
And now they're gone. They went to go get their things, and...
As you say.
If I'm not mistaken, you won't see them again.
I'm cold. I don't like this.
So normally, going to the Chantry first is a solid idea. We're not going to do that because there's a couple other things I want to do here first, and then we'll go to the Chantry after.
Have you seen my mother?
That depends. Who's your mother?
She's really tall, and she has red hair. We live on a big farmhold, all of us. Some mean men with swords came, and Mother told me to run to the village as fast as I could, so I did. She said she'd be right behind me, but I've been waiting and waiting, and I can't see her.
So you can choose to be nice, you can choose to be mean. I could have already been more mean than I have been. Now, he just gave a vague description, and my character doesn't really care about the story. So we're gonna say... I don't think she's coming, child.
Why not? Why would she leave me here?
The mean men killed her. She's dead.
But... no, she can't be dead. I'll find her.
Now, he actually might be...
Just how smart are Mabari supposed to be, anyway?
Okay.
Do you think they understand everything we say? Oh, is that so? You could just be listening to the tone of my voice. You could be an utter moron for all we know. Hey now! There's nothing saying that a moron can't be cute and adorable. Who's the cute and adorable puppy? Ignorance is bliss, isn't it? That's what the Chantry kept telling me anyhow.
That's perfect timing. But this is the bridge I was actually talking about. That if you cross over it, your party talks. And as you noticed, as soon as we started crossing over the bridge, those two started having a conversation. And it was the dog in the conversation this time. So, yeah, the dog is a full-fledged party member, and it can have conversations with the rest of your party. The conversations don't always stay the same, so like doing as much party banter as possible is a good thing. You can get more out of it than just sitting around. These two people over here are examples of people who have quests specifically dedicated to very specific professions.
So how is it the Terran Loghain survived when even the Grey Wardens didn't make it out of that place?
Yes.
It's down south.
I heard he saw just in time what those Grey Wardens were doing and saved his men. He's a hero, that's what he is.
Too bad he couldn't save poor King Kalen. Blast those Grey Wardens, they deserve what they got and more.
I'll say. First they drag the king down there and then they throw him to the wolves. It's no wonder it all went bad.
So, as you can see, Loghain and his men have been spreading rumors that the Grey Wardens were like an evil force that specifically designed everything that happened at Ostagar in order to dispose of the king, essentially. So, yeah,
Did you speak to that knight yesterday?
There
Said
are
he was from
people
Redcliffe.
He talked to everyone in the tavern.
that
How are we
talk about
supposed to know where the urn of
Lothering doing
sacred
the
ashes
honorable
is?
thing,
Or as
and
well
like
ask us
even
how
the
to get to the
rumors that
moon.
we hear a
He
lot of
said that
time
all the
paint
Redcliffe knights were
Loghain
looking
as
for
like an
it,
honorable
as if they
person.
didn't have anything better to do. I don't get it. I've got a cousin in the Templars. He says the mages in the tower out on Lake Callanhad are all turning into demons.
They're not going to stop talking. I'm
They
going
always
inside.
say that, though.
Well, look what we have here, men. I think we've just been blessed.
Ambush.
Uh-oh. Loghain's men. This can't be good.
Didn't we spend all morning asking about an elf by this very description, and everyone said they hadn't seen one?
It seems we were lied to.
Gentlemen, surely there is no need for trouble. These are no doubt simply more poor souls seeking refuge.
They're more than that. Now stay out of our way, sister. You protect these traitors, you'll get the same as them.
So during the character creation, I actually pointed out a character that we'd meet later on that had one of the hairstyles that was available. This is she. So she'll introduce herself after this conversation and whatever happens. So I'm not gonna bother with that, but I do believe I already said the name in the character creation, so it doesn't really matter either way. Alright, well, looks like you want to fight. I'm happy to oblige.
Right, let's make this quick.
Come and get it!
You will win!
I shall do it.
All right, you've won. We surrender.
Good. They've learned their lesson and we can all stop fighting now.
So, if you noticed there were still a couple of people alive in the back. That happens quite frequently in these fights that you randomly engage in. If you kill their leader, they will back down and surrender immediately without you having to fight the rest of them. That doesn't always happen. Like if you're in a boss fight, that's not always gonna happen. It does happen even with boss fights occasionally, but it's more frequent that in boss fights you just have to kill them all. The Grey Wardens didn't betray King Kalen. Loghain did.
I was there. The Terran pulled us out of a trap.
Well, then you really are blind.
Please wait!
They have surrendered. They were no match for you. Let them be.
So she is very fervent on her stance here. She's not gonna be happy about us killing them. They were gonna kill us.
But they failed, and I do not wish death on anyone.
Well, you helped us kill a couple of people just before talking to this guy, so... Alright, well then give them a final prayer, sister.
You mean... Very well. May the Maker forgive your trespasses. May he keep you in his sight and guide you
On it.
Push them back! What will be done?
Oh, those guys. I thought they were supposed to be out there with us, and they just like teleported into the kitchen for some reason. I guess they were hungry.
I apologize for interfering, but I couldn't just sit by and not help.
And who are you?
Let me introduce myself. I am Liliana, one of the lay sisters of the Chantry here in Lothering. Oh, I was.
Right. You can call me Alia if you must.
Those men said you're a Grey Warden. You will be battling the Darkspawn, yes? That is what Grey Wardens do. I know after what happened you will need all the help you can get. That's why I'm coming along.
And just what help would you be to me?
The Maker told me to join you. Surely, he would not do so without good reason.
Right. I believe this is where it back away slowly.
I know that sounds absolutely insane, but it's true. I had a dream. A vision.
More crazy? I thought we were all full up.
Look at the people here. They are lost in their despair, and this darkness, this chaos, will spread. The Maker doesn't want this. What you do, what you are meant to do, is the Maker's work. Let me help.
So you could turn her away, but I'm not going to, because it's good to get the characters in your group when you can.
Perhaps your skull was cracked worse than Mother thought.
Thank you. I appreciate being given this chance. I will not let you down.
So as you can see, you can only have a maximum of 3 people in your party. So whenever you find a new character at this point on, well, presuming you got the dog when you did, you will get this screen and you'll be able to choose who comes with you in your journey. So we're gonna remove the dog for now and bring Liliana, just so I can change her skills around if necessary, maybe give her some equipment, and the other 2 we're keeping for now. Alright, and with that, we're gonna call the episode done here. Thanks for watching. Remember to subscribe and like if you enjoyed the video. And I'll see you next time. Take care.